The knock on Anna's door echoed through the small apartment like a heartbeat she could no longer control. For a moment, she couldn't move. No one visited her. No one needed her. No one from her past should have known where she lived. Another knock, firmer this time. Her pulse roared in her ears as she stepped toward the door. Some instinct, ancient and trembling, already knew who waited on the other side. "Anna," a familiar voice said softly through the wood. "I know you're there." The world tilted. Michael. Years of buried memory surged upward all at once. Laughter beneath summer trees, promises whispered in twilight, the day she walked away without explanation, the love she had never stopped carrying. Her hand shook on the handle. She should not open it. She had no right to open it. Nothing good could come from reopening a wound that had never healed. But love does not obey reason. She turned the handle. Michael stood in the dim corridor, older than she remembered, sharper in every line, but unmistakably him. His eyes searched her face with an intensity that made breathing difficult. For a second, neither spoke. Shock, pain, recognition, regret. All the years between them collapsed into that single gaze. "You look..." "Finn," he said, at last, voice rough. It was such a small, human observation that tears instantly burned behind her eyes. "You shouldn't be here," she whispered. "Where else should I be?" he asked. "You disappeared from my life without a word." The accusation struck exactly where she had always known it would. Anna stepped back, letting him enter before neighbors could hear. The door closed behind them with a soft click that sounded far too final. They stood facing each other in the narrow room, two people who had once known everything about each other and now knew nothing at all. Michael's eyes moved over her apartment, the worn furniture, the bare walls, the quiet poverty of it. Confusion flickered across his face. "This is where you live?" he said slowly. "With him?" "With..." she began, then understood. "Daniel." The realization landed like cold water. "I don't live with anyone," she said. "This is mine." Michael's jaw tightened. "I saw you, getting into his car, leaving with him." So that was the story he had built. "He's my employer," she said quietly. Silence. The word hung between them, dismantling years of certainty in a single breath. "Your employer?" Michael repeated as if tasting something bitter. "You clean his house." She nodded once. The truth settled heavily into the room, simple, stark, undeniable. Not betrayal, not ambition, just survival. Michael's anger faltered, replaced with something more dangerous, doubt. "Then why," he said slowly, "did you leave me?" There it was, the question she had lived inside years, the answer she had never been allowed to give. Anna turned away, wrapping her arms around herself as if cold. "It doesn't matter anymore. It matters to me." His voice cracked, the first fracture she had ever heard in it. "You destroyed everything," he continued, quieter now. "You walked away like what we had meant nothing, and I never understood why." Her throat closed. "Because the truth would have destroyed you. Because loving you meant losing you. Because I chose your future over our love." But she could not say it. "I thought you were happier without me," she whispered. Michael stared at her as if she had spoken another language. "Happier?" he repeated. "I thought you chose someone else." She shook her head, tears spilling freely now. There was never anyone else. That confession shattered something inside him. All the years of bitterness, pride, and wounded certainty cracked open at once. If she had never loved another man, then what had he been holding on to? "What happened, Anna?" he asked, almost pleading. "What was so terrible you couldn't tell me?" She closed her eyes. The secret pressed against her ribs like a living thing. The promise she had made, the sacrifice she had chosen, the life she believed she was protecting. "I can't," she said. The words fell between them like ashes. Michael's shoulders dropped, hope draining from his face. "So, that's it," he said quietly. "You still won't trust me." "I trusted you with everything," she whispered. "That's why I left." The paradox made no sense, yet it was the deepest truth she possessed. He searched her face for answers she refused to give, and in that silence, love, still alive, still burning, twisted into something painful and unfinished. "I never stopped loving you," he said. That word struck her like light. For a heartbeat, the world vanished, past and present dissolving into the simple, unbearable fact of love returned too late. Her lips parted. But another face rose in her mind. Daniel's steady eyes, gentle concern, the fragile safety she had begun to feel near him. Life had moved forward, while their love remained frozen in time. "Michael," she began, but footsteps sounded in the hallway outside, approaching, stopping near her door. Both turned instinctively. A shadow crossed beneath the frame, and then, unmistakably, a knock. Anna's heart dropped, because she already knew who stood outside. Daniel. And fate, once again, refused to let her choose in peace. To be continued.